All right, so it's not every day that I have another 450 kind of lined up next to mine, and I was just gonna show some of the differences where people are always like, oh, what's the difference between a super single or just lifting a 450 regularly? So this is a 450 with a really nice icon lift on it actually, and he kept the dualies on it, obviously. So I'm going to show some of the main differences between this truck and my truck, just so you can kind of see. If you look at the fenders on his and mine, you'll notice that's one of the big differences. Where I have an aftermarket flared out fender, this is the stock 450 flared fender. So my aftermarket one over there still uses the same holes that this stock one uses, but you have to trim the fender underneath it and all that, and I'll kind of show that as I get closer. Same with the bumper extension. So as you can see on here, you actually push the bumper forward and the extension doesn't quite line up. This is a really nice lift. You got a coilover and a 2.5, it looks like, with external reservoir, and then aftermarket control arms and some nice ass wheels. And I think these are 37s. So this is a 37 with an icon lift. It's probably 4 inches would be my guess. If you kind of look at the gap on the back versus here, but and then in the rear he has airbags. So very nice lift. Definitely, I think, more common than what I'm running. And then if you look on mine, I cut the bumper and then modified the bumper extension to line up here. So that's kind of one difference. If you look here versus looking right here. So the suspension package on this one is obviously superior for sure. Just don't really find it too necessary for a motorhome. Basically, all I'm running is a coil spacer and a 2.0 with no reservoir, so it definitely doesn't look as good. Not as much bling, but I have 100,000 miles on this kit, so it's worked well. But so that's kind of the fender flare difference. If you look at there to there, then in the back you saw he had I think it's a 3-leaf factory leaf pack, and then the airbag, where in the rear I have a custom Atlas leaf pack with no airbags. And then this is a 41-inch tire versus a 37, and then my front and rear are interchangeable, and I just carry one spare in the back here. But you can see, if you look at like the tire line difference, how much wider he is. He's out past the flare where I'm inside the flare. So that's kind of just the differences. I thought it would be good just to show. The whole axle and everything is the same, both of them. It's just one wheel on there instead of 2. So they're running identical axles. I re-geared my axles. I'm assuming he has stock gears on here. I'm not sure. I have to ask him. But 2 different looks, but they're both platinums. They're both F450s. His is a newer. Mine's a 19. I think this is a 21 or something like that. The off-road lights look good, but yeah, that's kind of the differences between staying with the dually and going to the super single.